Today, like Mrs. Edwards said at the beginning, is we're going to talk about growth mindset. Raise your hand again if you've heard that term. Maybe you remember me talking about it before, or maybe some of your teachers. If you kind of heard of growth mindset, you're like, oh, maybe. Okay. I bet you've heard of it, and you don't know that it was growth mindset before. So, we're going to talk a little bit about your book that you've been going through here in chapel. It's Little Pilgrim's Progress, right? Give me a thumbs up if that's the right book, because I haven't read it. And so I have got some information from Miss Edwards, and one of your teachers told me a little bit about the book. And it's my understanding that the main character is his name Christian? Okay. Did you say Little Christian? Okay, Little Christian. And am I correct if I say that he was getting ready to go on like the most difficult part of his journey? Is that right? Does that seem? I don't see any nodding heads. If that sounds right. Okay, very good. So, so I've learned a little bit about your book. And could somebody tell me about the most difficult part of Christian's journey? Yes. Okay. So Katie said the hill of difficulty he had to climb up was like the most difficult part. Would you give me thumbs up if you agree? Was that the most difficult part of his journey, the hill? Jack? You said him fighting himself? Him fighting self? Okay. All right. Yes. Through the dark valley. Okay. So it sounds like Christian kind of really did go through the most difficult part of his journey. And when I heard that, I found this picture on Google, and I was like, wow, that looks like a difficult journey, doesn't it? Like, that's just kind of what I pictured, like this path that has jagged hills, and it's cold, and it's freezing, and then this dude is going to whatever that thing is on the other side. That looks like a difficult journey to me. So that's kind of what I pictured. And thinking about that, I was like, well, you know what? This part of the school year, it's after Christmas, it's after Thanksgiving. We're getting ready to go into the second half of the year, finish up second quarter, and we're heading into third. And a lot of times, this time of year can seem like our most difficult part of our school journey. Give me thumbs up if you think this year has been a little more difficult than usual. Yeah, I think so. It has been for me, right? There's been a lot of things that have been unexpected that's happened this year. And right now we're going into a season of our school year where there's not a whole lot going on. On the next slide here, so we're kind of approaching the most difficult part of our school journey, okay? And some things that kind of add to that is, you guys agree it's kind of cloudy this time of year? Like, not just cloudy, like pretty cloudy, like a lot of clouds, right? What else is kind of a bummer this time of year? Maybe it might be, I think I heard the S word, snow, right? Now, I like snow, but it's cold, isn't it? So we really can't go outside, so we're getting snow, right? Another part that's kind of a bummer this year, too, I hate to talk about all these bummer things, but a lot of the things that we love have been canceled, like maybe basketball, maybe you missed some games because of COVID, maybe you can't go do things that you normally would in a normal year, right? Raise your hand if you've had things canceled this year. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, right? And also, this time of year is kind of when school gets difficult. Maybe the most difficult so far. Like, you're getting schoolwork, and you're getting more schoolwork. And, like, the most schoolwork you're like, I've ever had. Like, this is really hard, right? Do you guys feel like that? Yeah, and it's not a bad thing, okay? But let's talk about preparing ourselves for maybe this most difficult part of our school year as we approach the third quarter. When it's cold, when we have lots of challenges, maybe things even get canceled that we're looking forward to. All right, so I want to tell you a story about a girl named Bethany. Raise your hand if you ever heard of Bethany Hamilton. Okay, I got a few. Yeah, so her story is actually pretty incredible. So Bethany grew up in Hawaii, and she loved to surf. She just spent her time on the water, in the ocean. She had a best friend, and they spent every weekend in the water, surfing, having a great time. And her family knew that she was destined to do something great. Like, they would see Bethany surf, and she was like 10, 14, 13, that age, kind of around your guys' age even. And she was out there surfing, and her family said, wow, she's going to do something awesome. She has a talent for surfing. She loves it. She's good at it. She's willing to work hard at it. And one day in, I believe it was 2003, when Bethany was 14, she had an accident. She was out surfing, and she went out, and she got attacked by a shark. All right, it was a real thing. She got attacked by a shark, and you hear that, and you're like, what, attack? Who gets it? She got attacked by a shark. And she was on this upcoming career. Everybody she knew was like, she's going to be great at surfing. She's going to do awesome things. And then it kind of came up, and then she had this accident, and you know what? She actually lost her arm in that accident where the shark attack happened. This next picture, you can see kind of after what happened in that shark attack. So the one thing that she loved doing kind of came to a stop there because of this difficult moment. That's the actual surfboard that the shark bit, which I thought was like, wow, it looks like that was like staged or something, right? But that's the real surfboard, and that's the real Bethany post shark attack. All right? Going back to growth mindset, and like I said here, we're approaching the third quarter, aren't we? And it might be the most difficult part of our journey, just like this was a difficult part of Bethany's journey. So let's talk about, what is growth mindset? All right? What is growth mindset? So growth mindset is going to be vital for success in our third quarter, okay? So I have a slide up here, up next, and we're going to compare what growth mindset is compared to a fixed mindset. All right, have you guys ever heard of that term, a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset? All right, so a growth mindset, the people with a growth mindset believe their talents and abilities can be developed through hard work, good strategies, and input from others. So people that believe that their talents and their strengths and the things that they're good at come from hard work and discipline and encouragement and even criticism from others have a growth mindset. Compared to a fixed mindset, and a fixed mindset, a person with a fixed mindset believes their basic qualities like intelligence or talents are simply fixed traits. So someone with a fixed mindset might say, well, I'm never going to be as smart because that's just the way I am. My mom wasn't good at math, so I'm not going to be good at math. That's something a fixed mindset would say, right? But a growth mindset would say, you know what? I'm not good at math yet. But I can be if I work hard, if I ask questions, if I learn from people that are good at math, right? So, and the goal of a growth mindset is to learn and grow as a person, compared to a fixed mindset where the goal is to look smart, right? And you know what? I found myself having a fixed mindset a lot as I grew up. Because I always wanted to look smart. I never felt smart, but I wanted to just appear smart. But a lot of times I didn't care about the process of actually learning. But I've learned as I've gone how important having a growth mindset is. So, what we are going to do is we're going to look at 5 different areas where you can choose to have a growth mindset. Okay, and this is going to be my challenge and my focus for you guys in this third and fourth quarter coming up, the rest of the school year, to change your mindset, to have more of a growth mindset. All right, so the first one is when we approach challenges. All right, everybody say challenges. All right, challenges. Okay, the second one is when we approach obstacles. Everybody say obstacles. Obstacles. What's obstacles? Something that trips us up, right? Do you think the shark attack was an obstacle? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if I got attacked by a shark, that'd be a pretty big obstacle for me. Third one, effort. All right, we're going to talk about effort. How can we have a growth mindset in the area of effort? Third one is criticism. How to have a growth mindset when it comes to criticism. Maybe from a teacher or a peer or a parent, right? And then also, the last one, how to have a growth mindset when we see other people being successful, the success of others. Rather than being jealous, how do we learn from that and grow as a person ourselves? Okay? So, let's focus a little more in depth on each one. The first one, challenges. All right? So, a person with a fixed mindset tries to avoid challenges. Raise your hand if you've ever tried to avoid something that's difficult. I have. And if your hand's not up, you probably have. Yeah, I've tried to do that, right? But a person, well, click it one more time and you might see. So you might feel like this dude right here, right? Right, that was me before. Yeah. But the person with the growth mindset embraces challenges. So when something is difficult, they say, it's on, right? If something's difficult, let's say if your teacher gives you she says, all right, we're going to have a big project coming up, and it's going to be exciting, and we're going to work really hard. Do you take that and say, all right, this is going to be challenging, I'm going to learn from it? Or do you say, oh man, I really don't want to do that. Can I just copy off somebody else? Or maybe I'll get a partner for my project that'll do most of the work. I won't have to do anything. But if you do that, do you really grow from that? Or do you just try to appear smart and take the easy route? Right? But the person with the growth mindset embraces challenge and says, you know what? I can learn from it. I can get better. I can get smarter by facing the challenge. All right, so that's the first one. The second one we talked about is what? Obstacles. Yes. So obstacles. What's an obstacle? Yes. Something that gets in the way, right? You're on a path to do something, and it's something that kind of trips you up, right? Makes it more difficult, maybe. Now, the person with a fixed mindset, when they come to an obstacle, gives up easy. Raise your hand if you ever say, I just quit. I give up. Yeah, I've said that before, right? It's easy to say that. But a person with a growth mindset says, you know what? Oh yeah, I quit. You ever feel like that? Yeah, I felt like that before. Just like, oh no. Have you felt like that this year? Especially? Yeah, like, oh, I give up. Yeah, but let's compare that to a person with a growth mindset. Okay? Someone with a growth mindset persists in the face of setbacks. So if something comes up that's difficult or it's a challenge, a person with a growth mindset says, all right, kind of like the other one says, bring it on, let's go, let's do it. Like, this can't stop me. Like, can't stop me, right? So, you see the difference there. Fixed mindset gives up. Growth mindset persists and says, you know what, I can learn from this. I'm going to be smarter and better when I come out on the other side. So the third one is effort. Effort. Do you guys always put in 100% effort on everything? Yeah, I don't either, sometimes. But it's a process to learn to get better at it, okay? So if someone with a fixed mindset sees effort as fruitless or worthless, like effort's a bad thing. With someone with a fixed mindset, if you have to work hard at your math assignment or your English assignment, they see that as bad. Someone with a fixed mind says, you know what, I had to try really hard. I must not be as smart as my neighbor. Or you know what, I'm just not as smart as my mom. She gets math, but I don't. But someone with a growth mindset sees effort as beneficial and sees effort as the path to mastery. So effort is a good thing. Like when you put in effort, that's when you grow. That's when you get better. That's when you get smarter. That's when you learn, right? Do you guys learn better by just like sitting in a chapel and listening to Mr. Muse? Or do you learn better by like actually working at something and trying? Typically it's when we're actually doing something and learning, right? Yeah, so when it comes to effort, someone with a growth mindset sees effort as beneficial. Like, if I try hard, I'm going to be better when I come out on the other side. I'm going to know more. I'm going to learn more, right? So the next one, criticism. Raise your hand if you've ever been criticized about something or got feedback and really didn't like it. You didn't want to hear it. Yeah, me too. Me too. And let's look at the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So a fixed mindset says to criticism, ignores useful negative feedback. So if someone comes to you and says, you know what, on your presentation today, I really didn't like it. I think you should have spoken a little louder. Do you say, wow, that person's a jerk? Like, that was rude? Why'd they say that to me? Or you say, well, that was kind of mean, but you know what? Next time I think I should. They're probably all right. And you grow from that, right? Or do you let it like, wow, I must be the worst presentation giver ever because they said one bad thing about it, right? Or do you take that and say, well, they were kind of a jerk, but next time I think I'm going to speak a little louder because I can get better. So the fixed mindset ignores it. The growth mindset learns from the criticism. Just like I said, you learn from it, you grow. Even if it's negative and mean, you say, what? You know what? I can get better. I can do this, right? Yeah, so, and it exercises your brain like that, right? It's like your brain gets like super bodybuilder. Okay, the last one. This one has been a difficult one for me that I'm still working through, and is seeing the success of others, right? Raise your hand if you've ever seen somebody do something really well that's something that you struggle with. Yeah, is it frustrating? Yeah, it is. It can be. Yeah, and someone with a fixed mindset looks at that person and feels threatened by it. You know what? Because there's other school counselors that are a lot better at their job than I am. It's true. I got a lot of friends and they're school counselors too, and I look at them and they are just a lot better at different things than I am. And then, you know what? I've got down on myself before. I said, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be a school counselor. I'm not as good as them. But I realized, you know what? I was in a fixed mindset. And if I had a growth mindset, I would look at them, and this is what I try to do. I look at those other school counselors that are more talented than I am. Oh yeah, sorry. Fixed mindset, and that's what I feel intimidated, right? Like I see you trying to make me look bad, right? But growth mindset finds lesson and inspiration. So I look at other school counselors and I say, wow, look at the thing that this person's doing. That was really good. I can learn from it, right? So instead of looking at someone else's success as, wow, I can never be that, look at it and say, wow, how could I kind of imitate that? Or what could I do to change to do as well as they do in this one thing, right? Kind of a really cool way to change your mindset from wow, I'm no good, to, hey, I can get better, right? So, talking about Bethany, she came up to a major challenge, don't you think? A major hurdle, right? She got attacked by a shark. How could it get any worse than that, right? But there was a second half to Bethany's story. When Bethany was in the hospital bed and had her wound all bandaged up, there was a video clip. She looked at her dad and said, you know what? I'm going to get back out there. And you know what she did? Guess. What'd she do? She got back out there, didn't she? So Bethany, she went through a horrific thing for a surfer. She got attacked by a shark, but she did. She didn't just say it. She went on. And in the months following her accident with the shark, she trained. And she went to one of the best trainers in Hawaii, and she worked hard. Do you think it was difficult for Bethany to get back on the surfboard? Yeah, do you think Bethany came up to obstacles, challenges, to criticism from others, right? Yeah, definitely. So, you know what Bethany did? She went on and she got third place in like the world championship of surfing. And she competed with people that had their both arms and beat them. And she beat out the 6-time world championship surfer. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Do you guys think that Bethany had a growth mindset? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Growth mindset or not growth mindset? Yeah, she did have a growth mindset. What do you think? Well, Bethany's faced challenges, right? What was her challenge? She was attacked by a shark, right? Yeah. And her challenge was like training it didn't come naturally to her anymore. She had to work really hard. Do you think she faced obstacles? Yeah, absolutely. Do you think she had to put in more effort than she ever did before? Absolutely. Do you think she had critics and people that criticized her and said things to her? Definitely. Yeah, you think people were like, you know what? Do you think you're really going to be able to surf as good as you used to? Right? Did she let that stop her? No, obviously not. Do you think Bethany saw other people succeed better than her and do better at surfing? Yeah, but she kept moving forward. That's not the only thing. Bethany not only had a growth mindset, but she surrounded herself by people who encouraged her and helped her on her walk to get to be a better surfer. And is that what happened in the book with your character, with Christian? Didn't he have like a support person that came alongside him to walk on his journey with him? Is that right, James? Okay. Yeah, and just like that, your character, Christian, in the book, Bethany came alongside. She found a guy who supported her, and she ended up marrying him. And it shows the importance of surrounding yourself by people that can help you on your walk, and also people that encourage you to have that positive growth mindset. So, my question for you is, so what are you going to do with your mindset? Think about it. When it comes to things, are you more in a fixed mindset, or do you have more of a growth mindset? Do you look at challenges as like a bummer, like, all right, wah, got this assignment? Or do you look at it as like, all right, let's go, let's do it. Even though it's going to be hard, I'm ready to go, right? Maybe it looks like for a sport or something. Do you have a growth mindset when it comes to that sport? When you see other people succeed and you're not doing so well, do you look at them for inspiration or do you not? So what is that for you? All right? So what I've done for you guys, because I know it's really easy to go and forget a message and be like, wait, what did Mr. Muse talk about last night? I don't remember. I made little bookmarks for you guys. And on the bookmark, it has the 5 different areas that we talked about. It says growth mindset at the top, and it says challenges, effort, obstacles, criticism, and success of others. All right? So I want you to take this and you can use it for your bookmark, but I want you to look at it and use this as a reminder and say, you know what? Am I having a growth mindset or is it a fixed mindset? When it comes, you know what? Someone kind of gave me some criticism. Am I looking at that as a growth mindset area or a fixed mindset area. So I've got one of these for all of you. At the end of your chapel, just before you go, just come up on stage and grab one real quick. Make sure you only touch the one that you're going to take, okay? And then you can go on. All right? So we're going to have that growth mindset because it's going to be a challenge, but you can do it. All right? Just like I'm working on it, you can work on it too. As we approach this third quarter, and that might be our most difficult part of our journey, let's work on having that growth mindset. All right? And